All right, this is Brandon Miller, the director of scouting and video productions, and I'm just gonna ask him a few questions about his career and how everything goes on a day-to-day basis. So, can you first start off and tell me about your education from undergraduate?
Okay, so I went to High Point University here in North Carolina. I got my I got a double major in business administration and sport management, and from there I went to the University of Florida, and I got a master's in sport management.
Okay, tell me about your passion for like not just basketball but like sport altogether.
Just growing up, I played like three sports. I played baseball, basketball, and soccer growing up. Played that throughout high school, and that was always like a big part. Like just even like in the neighborhood and playing and all that. And then I watched like sports, and I was like big into statistics and knowing all the players and stuff. So that kind of drove my passion to go into the sport management major. So that got me started, and then once I got to college, I just started getting involved in a bunch of different things and realized that I was in the right area.
Can you tell me about a few requirements as to if I wanted to go into a career in video production for sport, like a sport organization as an NC State? What's like some requirements that I would need?
So I would say, doing your in Parks Recreation, doing sport management undergrad, I think I would recommend trying to go ahead and get your master's. I think a lot of places now, your bachelor's is one thing, but if you have your master's, it can kind of put you above some other people. It also allows you to get into some, like when you're doing your graduate work, you get more experience in some areas because usually you tie the two together. I would say just the biggest thing is just getting experience doing the things that like in video production. Like if you were to work in communications or something where you were doing the creative side of things and putting some pieces together to actually maybe get involved with, now we have ACC network here and NC State, so you can kind of cross over the sport management with the communications and broadcast and maybe work for them because they have the production side of things where they're producing all the games and all the TV broadcast, but they also have like a graphic side of things where it's more creative, and they're the guys that are filming on the floor and just they have opportunities for you to possibly get into that. So then you would work within, you would be able to work with all the equipment and use the different softwares and programs that would help in when you go and interview for jobs. Then you have those background experiences and you can say you've done those things.
Okay. So for your career and your job here at NC State with the women's basketball team, what do you do in video production?
In terms of this outside of like the basketball or just the video like.
Yeah, you can go into the basketball side.
So for the team, some of my main duties, I'll just kind of go with those. I do a lot of the scouting, so I obtain film, whether it's TV copy or what we call coach's copy, which is the high angle, usually filmed by a manager or someone on staff. And there's platforms that we can trade that film on, and I download that film. And then I typically convert it to fit the software that we use. It's called DB Sport, in which we use to break down our film. So I get all that ready, get all the film. So if we're playing, North Carolina, I get every game that North Carolina's played on the season. And then I work with our assistant coaches and our head coach to break down that film, figure out what their tendencies are, what kind of offense they're running, whether they press, things like that, and put together the game plan. So it's kind of like one of the biggest roles throughout the season, just so we can be as prepared as possible. On a side note of that comes in the creative part. Social media is huge now, and we do a bunch of different things online. So I help with some of the photograph stuff. If we do pictures and and different graphics. I don't actually make them, but I kind of help with getting that stuff set up. And then with the video side of it, just creating some of those content videos that go on social media that tell our fans or our recruits or just anybody who's out there looking like who we are and what we're about. And then I kind of have some people that help me out with that, with filming and getting the footage, but also then putting it together with slides and content on the actual software.
All right, so as you say, you have people like to help you, so your job isn't like independent. It's a team effort. So like, do you have how many number of people do you have like on your team for your job?
So in terms of helping me, I don't have a ton. There's a graduate assistant that deals with just he does a lot of our graphics and helps with the photography side of things. And then there's a graduate student, so he's a creative. And then we have a graduate student that's basketball, so she will do some of the film breakdown, and so she'll be more the scouting, and the other guy, the guy GA, is more of the creative side of things. And then I do have one student helper currently that he'll film practices, and he comes to games and does all the some of the event stuff, and then he'll put together some of those pieces that we put out. We usually try to do at least 2 a week, and he helps me put one together, and we try to keep it. Attention span's big, so people don't want to watch a 2-minute video, so we try to keep it. Now we're staying under a minute, so that way you can just watch it real quick and then be done with it. But yeah, so not a ton of people, just a couple, and then we do have managers and stuff that help occasionally, but they're not in here a ton, so it's just more so the 2 GAs, and then I have 1 video intern.
All right, and last question, what is more of like the work environment for your career here?
I would say, working in basketball, working in athletics in general, if it's something that you're passionate about, it's really not work. I don't have too many days where I could probably count on one hand where I get up and I'm like, I don't want to go to work today. And, so it's like every day you wake up and like you're not dreading going to work because you're going to sit behind a desk for 9 to 5 and type on a computer or crunch numbers or something like that. The environment is, kind of here and there, like every day is going to be kind of different. There's things that you're going to do that are similar. We practice and we do some things and once the season gets going that are like pretty set. But like today, I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. Things come up and then you kind of just move throughout the day. You troubleshoot, you change, you just adjust, and it makes it kind of exciting, and it's not the same every day. So that's the biggest thing is I just think, I work with good people that have the same passion that I do for basketball specifically, but also sport. And they all make it fun as well. So we all have the same goals, with our team and doing well, winning and succeeding. So overall it's fun and it's technically not a job.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. All right.